Camera's out there, right? Yeah. Hey, everybody. Oh, man, I'm not on the camera.
Get in there.
There I am.
Get in there. There you are.
I'm there.
1, 2, go.
No, but we need to move it over here. There we go. All right. How about my new hat, everybody?
Unishippers.
Yeah, baby.
Unishippers.
Thank you, Mark Van Hooser, for the new gear. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Keeping It Real show. The reason we have 3 guys up here is because it takes 3 guys to introduce the guy we're going to have on tonight. And these 2 guys sitting to my left and right.
Big name.
Yeah.
Big name.
You can see the hats they're wearing.
Yeah.
So guess who our guest is tonight? The one and only Mr. Kent Ray Taylor.
KRT.
You are definitely going to want to watch tonight and rewatch tonight and rewatch it again because it is going to be an awesome, epic night. Tim and I have talked about this probably since we started. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
Yeah. I said I want to do KRT.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, I had to bring in Mr. Troy Compton because there's nobody that can interview any better than Troy. I'm telling you, I got to watch my job here. But I'm going to step.
It's a high-paying job. I want it.
It's a really
Right,
high-paying
right.
job. But I'm going to step to the mic outside, see if we can't get some outsiders that are going to come in and ask some questions for Mr. Taylor. But I think before we get going, we have some clips of. Do we have it from the Redbud or just kids stuff? So we have so yesterday we had off. We have yesterday's videos, what was happening today, and today's as well.
Yeah, and then me and Kono went around
And
today and did
a
some
lot of the
videoing.
guests,
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah, we knocked it
stay
out.
put, fasten your seatbelt for what's coming up tonight. But grab your favorite drink, sit down, and watch this video because it's awesome. Take it away, Kona.
Take it away, Kono.
My name's Kelly McDowell. My favorite part about the Keeping It Real show is as a viewer, learning all the funny little things about all the different people and how they grew up or didn't grow up riding horses, and a little bit of useful information as well, but mostly just getting to know some of my friends a little bit better, things from their past.
Hi, my name is Charlie Cole, and my favorite part of the Keeping It Real show is hearing about all my friends and other horse trainers and how they started and how they got into this business. To me, that's really interesting.
Hey, this is Robin Frid, and my favorite part about the Keeping It Real show is the backstory to everybody. There's a lot of people that, Brad and Tim have been interviewing and visiting with, and even some that are close friends that maybe I didn't really realize everything that they have done in their lives, even before they started horses, kind of how they grew up and how they started. And after, I've been on a couple times, and the second time was when we really got into that a little more. And I've had a lot of friends that I've known forever that were like, hey, I didn't even know you had a brother. Or I had someone stop me today, said they didn't know that I'd even played hockey or anything. I'm like, I'm from Canada, how did I not play hockey? But so that's my favorite part of it. I just find it super interesting and super enlightening, and I hope they keep it up.
I'm Doug Hulse from Scottsdale, Arizona, or Kirkland, Arizona. I love when the trainers come on and they start talking about the different events, and the feel you can get for those events is, you contain a lot of knowledge. I know my girlfriend shows a lot and she really enjoys it, but to get on there and hear what they think, and especially knowing that many of them are judges as I am myself, I listen not only for her sake but for my sake, and I learn something every time I watch.
Hi, my name is Corey. My favorite part of the Keeping It Real show is watching so many different people from the industry talk about their experiences and tips on riding.
Hi, I'm Leslie Lang, obviously, and my favorite part of the Keeping It Real show is learning the backstories of all the guests. And the fun part for me also is knowing a lot of the backstories and seeing how much we have in common, and all of us that have been in it for so long. I think that to me is just precious to learn everybody's story.
Hello, my name is Gil Gallion. I'm a professional horse trainer from Purcell, Oklahoma. I think the favorite part of me of the Keeping It Real show has just been getting to hear some of my peers who I have so much respect for, and just hearing their story and you know, hearing the names that influenced them, and the trials and tribulation we all go through being in the profession. And it's just really been a neat, you know, it's provided, the show has provided an opportunity for us to see and hear things that we never before have had the opportunity to hear about. And that's what I've really enjoyed the most.
Hi, my name's Jenny Jordan Frid, and I've had the opportunity of being on the Keeping It Real show. I was on the Showmanship episode with Melissa Jones and Curtis Reynolds. It was a blast. I enjoyed it. Definitely kept me on my toes and made me really think about things, and enjoyed it very much. Brad and Tim are always so much fun. I've enjoyed watching several episodes. My favorite one was the one with Cleve Wells and Steve Peckerman. I thought that was such great history. Two great horsemen there. But there's been so many great shows. My favorite part of all the shows actually is just the knowledge that is shared with everybody, the history. But one of the things that I enjoy the most is actually the beginning, with all the announcing and Brad and Tim being so much fun and just making it enjoyable. And just so grateful what they're doing for our industry to give us this opportunity to listen to so many great horsemen and horsewomen, and them sharing their knowledge with it.
Well, I got to tell you, being on the show, I was a little nervous about it. You know, I was very appreciative of Brad and Tim calling and allowing me to do it. You know, I think I enjoyed just, you know, being able to talk a little bit about my family and the influence they've had on me, and as well as other, you know, the other trainers, the generation before me, and just, and then I enjoyed sort of talking about the state of the industry as it is now and where it's going, and so it was a great experience. I'm very appreciative of it.
And you know, I was really surprised as somebody who was on the show how many hours Tim and Brad spent working on talking to us and getting information and making sure everything was going to go smoothly, and yourself too. It was a lot of time and a lot of effort by everybody involved. It's a really great thing, I think, for our industry, especially at this time. I think those two seem to really enjoy it, and you must too, because you're still there. So we all appreciate everything you're doing and enjoy it very much.
My experience on the show was fabulous. We had a great time. I was concerned about filling an hour, as they put it, and when we got done, I had all kinds of stories that I still wanted to tell. So the hour went really fast, and it was fun to reminisce, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's been fabulous for the industry, and Tim and Brad and Kona have done a fabulous job.
So guys, there's so much camaraderie there, and again, it gives you a feel for what's happening in the industry and where things are going. I can't say enough good things about it. It's really good for the industry to have a show like Keeping It Real.
Thank you. It's a story. We still have pages left to write. It's a journey, and it's a beautiful ride. Be fearless, be brave, and be the light. Listen to your heart and let it guide you through the night. Let go into the great unknown. Live your life, it doesn't really matter.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our first place, our champion in the 2019 Blazer Versatility Challenge. Your horse, your world, your way. Brought to you by Terry Bradshaw Quarter Horses. Receiving the champion ribbon, a custom-made champion buckle donated by Holly Spectola Design, and a check for $10,000. Congratulate number 1988, Snap and Send It. Come by Blake Wise, Fight Point, Texas. All by Kent Ray Taylor, Mesa, Arizona. Our champion Snap and Send It.
There are mountains, there are highs and there are lows, and there are secrets waiting to unfold. So be fearless, don't be afraid to walk alone. You are stronger, stronger than you know. Let go into the great unknown. Live your life, it doesn't really matter if we have all the answers. It's all about the road we're on. So let's go into the great unknown. Into the great unknown.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Wow, that was awesome, Kona. Great job on the video. Kent, whoever does your stuff, great job. That was awesome. We want to thank our largest crowd so far here live at the Redbud. Thank you so many people for being here live, and then also watching on Facebook. We're sorry you couldn't be here, but I'm sure there's some people around the horse show that are watching, that are here, that are showing, that are still watching. It's kind of cool because when I've been out there showing during the show, I'll be watching it live, and there'll be other people on watching it live. So that was kind of cool. But real quick, some order of business. You know, I want to remind everybody that thank you for all of those that have been our sponsors. Thank you for all that have donated so far. But we do have on our website at thekeepingitrealshow.com, there is a donate button. You can sponsor as little as $10, and it goes up from there. So anything we can do to kind of help keep this show rolling, to keep interviewing some great guests, we appreciate every penny that you guys can help us to do that. So let's get it rolling, man. I think we go on. But let's bring it into Mr. Timmy Kimura.
Brad, two things. One, I love your cap. Go Unit Shippers.
Yeah.
Two, I love
Sharp.
that. I love the sign that's sitting behind you.
How about that?
Love my sign. Wow.
Another sponsor back there.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so
Dapper Dan back here behind me.
really, my quick shout out goes to my guys Robert Barton and Carson Griggs out there, because they're
There you
picking
go.
up the woods for me tonight while I do my show here.
Awesome.
So big props for those guys. And we have our guest co-host again.
Yes,
Mr.
Troy
Compton.
Oakley. Troy
Love to
Oakley.
see Troy. Troy, how
Sorry,
we
buddy.
doing?
We're
Troy
good.
Compton.
Great.
Okay.
Big show tonight, Tim.
Yeah, what do you think? How's it going at Redbud here?
You know, I've been in and out, and wow, I'm just amazed at what Jackie Kershka has been. You know, this is the house that Jackie built.
Amen.
So the bones are
That's
good, right?
Yep.
And she's not going to let anything fail.
Right.
So here we are.
Yeah.
You know,
Jackie,
no doubt.
big golf claps for
No
Jackie.
doubt.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my leg has been killing me all week, right?
Yeah.
And last night, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, she texts me, "How's your leg?" I go, "Really? You worried about my leg at this moment? You got a horse show you're doing?" I appreciate that, though, that you're checking on me. But it was just as odd. Like, wow, Jack, okay. Yeah, I'll be okay. I'm propping it right now, and I've been drinking my cherry juice. So big. I mean, I love Jackie. She treats me so well. So she's done a great job for sure. We got one more round to do tomorrow. And I love to bring in my friend here, the KRT.
The man that takes three guys to introduce, Mr. Kent Ray Taylor.
Bring him in. Yep, there you go.
There he is. KRT.
Okay,
Welcome.
KRT, here goes. Yeah, you bet, you bet. So, you've been showing here a little bit at the Red Bud?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Great show.
how's it going for you?
We're having a fantastic show. Jackie
Yeah.
puts on a great
What,
event.
what classes do you show here?
We've done the performance halter, the showmanship, horsemanship, pleasure.
Great. How about this? I always ask all our guests, what'd you do during the quarantine?
Well, to be honest, I read books and drank a lot of wine.
A little wine, a little
Yeah.
but that, it just that's good for your soul to do the reading for sure, right?
Oh, for sure.
And wine's so good for your health, right?
Well, I don't
Your
know
heart
about.
should be in great shape.
Yeah, especially all the red wine.
Yeah, that's all good, all good. And then tell us, where you live, and then I'm curious about where your farm's at and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I live part of the time in Arizona.
Yep.
I love it. Lived there for quite some time now. We have a home in La Jolla, California.
Yep.
But unfortunately, with the COVID, we haven't been able to go over there a lot.
Right.
And then we have a ranch that we lease there in Pilot Point, Texas, and that's where Blake and the horses are based.
That's close to my house.
Hey, we're neighbors.
Yeah, we are. We love that. So, wow, you when I interviewed you've done so well at the Congress and the NSBA World last year. Can you tell me about your two horses that you currently own?
Yes, I currently own Don't Think Twice,
Yep.
and she's my Western all-around mare, and Blake shows her in the trail and Western riding. And then I have Snap It, Send It. She's my 4-year-old, soon-to-be
Right.
Western all-around mare.
Right.
And she's doing the junior pleasure trail and Western riding.
So tell us a little bit.
And she was the versatility winner.
There you go. Good one. That's a good one.
Very proud of that.
So tell us about Congress, okay? SBA and Congress last year. There were so many classes that you won, and I'm so proud of you. So maybe let's do Congress first, okay? So tell us what you. I'm going to just say, what'd you win at Congress last year?
Well, we had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
It's probably one that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I had a great team, and we went to the Congress, and we virtually won almost every single class we went into.
That's so impressive.
Which was amazing. But it took a lot of hard work. It
All day
took great
long.
trainers and a great team to get me
It's a team,
there.
right?
Oh, it's a team all the way.
Right. There's so many moving parts
Absolutely.
at that show, right?
And if you don't have a good team and you don't put in the time, it's going to be a challenge.
So
But
specifically,
we won to answer your
Yeah.
question, we won the Hunter Under Saddle, non-pro, and open, and then we won the 3-year-old non-pro Western. So it was really great to win both the non-pros.
So the horse you won on was a 3-year-old.
I had a 3-year-old paint horse,
Right,
all
right.
good.
And it was a paint horse too,
Yes.
right?
And
Showing
he literally
Congress.
was completely almost undefeated with me that whole year.
Yeah. So probably special, one of a kind, not one of a kind, but
He was definitely a unicorn.
Yeah.
And for me not to show and see for 30
Yeah.
years, that was a challenge.
yeah, we'll get to that and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
And then you won that. How about on the Western side? Would you win at Congress?
The 3-year-old limited non-pro.
Yes.
And we were reserve in
Right.
the 3-year-old open non-pro.
Right. Wow. And then that's just Congress, and you had such quite a fantastic year. So NSBA.
And
that's just
NSBA was
whole
a
nother-
dream come true.
Yeah, that's like a whole new. It's continuation, but what class did you win there and stuff like that?
Well, we won all the Hunt Seat classes that we showed Jameson in.
Right,
That was his brand
right.
name, all good. And then I did very well on Snap It, Send It
Yeah.
as well. So we
Well-
won 2 classes there. The 3-year-old Western non-pros.
I'm going to add one more thing to the record here for last year. How about at the World Show here? So can you talk about that a little bit?
The World Show is amazing. We had Snap It, Send It enter in that versatility class, which I truly believe in. I think it's a wonderful event.
Right.
It showcases, an opportunity for a 3-year-old to show you that they can do the pleasure, change some leads, a little bit of a horsemanship pattern, and then still have to be conformational. Confirmation is important to what they need to
Right.
do. And so for us to win it the second year that it was offered was amazing.
Wow.
And you're loving this class.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I will sponsor it from
I think it's a great
continual.
class.
Absolutely.
I think it's
agree,
where our
Charlie.
industry's going.
I agree.
And I'm glad to see you're supporting it.
For sure, even if I don't have a horse in there, we're going to do
Right.
it.
That's
And
good
Aaron and
news.
Blake did a phenomenal job for me.
Again, it's no matter when you win, it's always a team, right? It's
Yes,
probably not a one-man show
absolutely.
to do this kind of stuff.
No, sir.
It's quite the teamwork. If it's NSBA, the World Show, Congress, there's so much. It's not as easy as it looks.
It's absolutely not easy.
Right.
If anything, I think it's more difficult now than it was
Right.
30 years ago.
So since that we're going there, let's go back because that's where the stuff that I want to learn a little bit. Okay. Tell us about your youth. Like, how you started with horses and your trainers in earlier days and stuff like that?
Okay. Well, I started kind of late in life. I begged and begged to get a horse, and my family were not equestrians. It was all about race cars, and I begged and begged, and finally, I think I was like 14, and I got an old broke-down horse for Christmas, and took it out to Pete and Tamara Kyle's, and they were like, okay, well, let's see what you can do at this age.
Yep.
And they worked with me, and just kind of took lessons and kept working really hard at it, and they could see that I definitely was not just going to be an in and out type of client.
So you're at Pete and Tamara's, where there's those good riders that were riding out there with you?
Yeah, there were some phenomenal youth and amateur riders. They had Molly Elliott back in the day, Deborah Kimes, Tanya Muse. It was
historical names, right?
Big names.
Yeah, they were some.
So you're seeing these, and you want to be a part of this.
I want to be better than them. I didn't want to be part of it. I want to be better. And luckily, my family knew that I was dedicated, and we went out and bought 2 great horses from Jeff Hobby Horse, Count McChick, which was absolutely a unicorn all-around horse, and I won so much on him. And then Bobby's Black Zack was a Western pleasure horse that we turned into a fantastic pleasure horse.
Bobby's Black Zack, I also got him ready one time for Mary Roberts. He won the Congress, I think, in the novice amateur pleasure. That was a great horse.
Way ahead of his time.
So you came in and you bought those 2 horses at once.
Correct.
So for those of you that don't know, Kent hit the scene at the West Coast circuit.
Correct.
In '85 we talked.
Yes.
And that's the first time I hit the West Coast. So we basically hit the West Coast at the same time at the show scene. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had a great time with that.
I want to interrupt because that is why that man is sitting right there, because he brings that extra level history that I don't bring. Troy, thank you for being here again,
we bought
man.
as my reference.
This is awesome. I love
really
it.
Old.
We go way back. We're pretty old.
He's checking my work over here.
I don't want to be, actually.
Don't let me interrupt, but keep going. I wanted to make sure mention that.
And so Pete and Tamara developed me. We did a great job with them. And then I went to Mark Sheridan.
Right.
And then I went to Casey Hinton with those 2 horses. And each trainer taught me so much, and we did so well. And it was truly it was a wonderful time for me.
So you went to right to winning, though, pretty much when you hit the scene.
I was very fortunate, yes. But we put a lot of hard work in, and we did win. We won the world show in the showmanship, the horsemanship. I think I was the first male to win the all-around as a youth.
You know, I talked to Casey today about you a little bit, and
oh no, what did he say?
No, he.
This is live, Tim. Be careful.
No, he said, you know what? The horses he showed, they were tricky. Like they had to get rode.
Oh, they were horses.
And
yes,
Kent Ray would never back down to do the work. Right? He had the work ethic to go ride.
Yeah, if you don't have the work ethic and the team, you're not going to win.
It's tricky, right?
Yes, sir.
You can kind of skim by sometimes, but you won't be consistent.
No, you got to buy the right horse. You got to have a trainer that believes in you, and you got to put in the time.
So, as we talked, you had a pretty good youth career.
I absolutely did.
So
yes,
I'd sure like to talk about that. This is before KRT, so talk about when you were a youngster and how you did in the youth world and stuff like that, because you had a lot of accomplishments back there, and also.
I did. We won quite a bit. I was very pleased.
So, you got to brag for me a little bit. So.
Okay. Well, like I said, we won the showmanship, we won the horsemanship, we won the all-around youth.
Yes.
Both the World Show and the Congress.
Right.
For the nation, we also won for the nation, because back then you hauled. And
right.
I mean, when you hauled, you were at a horse show every weekend, and you showed every single event all day long, from the halter to the last event of the day.
And this is back before split combined.
Right.
This is single judge. We ran it all one day.
And the classes were huge.
Right. And then back then
we would have splits after splits after splits, semifinals.
So
in the pleasure.
is that where you learned your English too back then?
Yes,
like
I was.
right?
Yeah, I won the Huntsy Deck actually.
Right.
I did.
See, there's all these things that people won't know about you that I love to bring out. Right.
Okay.
How did he start? Wow, he did all these events when he was young, and then he won the all-around when he was young. Those are things that people don't know about you. And
I had to add them when you're going against female competitors that are fierce and they're showing at every event. I had to step up and show them I could do it just as well.
So did we talk about some of the people you showed against back in that time? Like, who were your competitors?
Well, I showed against, Jeff Meadows, Tanya Muse, Deborah Kimes, Molly Elliott.
Well, did you show against Amy Lund?
I might have.
Back in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's some big names.
Nancy Murfin.
Right.
Yeah, we battled it out that year for the all-around amateur.
You know, I bet
I'm lucky to say I beat her.
Like in your day, I mean, you always have someone that you like to compete against that pushes you to.
We had Lynn Anderson show back then.
See?
Jerry Lee Pratt. Yeah, we had, it was
Well, Count McChick. That's where Jerry
It's
Jerry
that
Lee had
history
Count
stuff that
McChick.
you don't
It's-
think about, and that's what the show brings all the time. Is wow, these.
And this is back before we had vets to keep these
Yeah,
horses going, right? Like we had to
They
really
were pretty
manage
solid
these horses. Yeah.
Well, we talked about that too. Like the horses that need riding, we couldn't earplug them or anything like that too, right?
No, there was no earplugs,
and
no
then
fake tail.
It wasn't so much lunging back in the day. You had to ride them, right?
You did have to ride them. You did.
Lunging wasn't so vogue back then, right?
Yeah, and like one time I'll never forget was the Sun Circuit, and they had a versatility class, and all the trainers were in it. And they said, "Oh, you should go in it." Mark said, "You should do it." And I said, "Well, Mark, you need to ride the horse." So the trainer goes, "I don't ride him. You ride him every day." And we had to do the Pleasure, the Hunter Under Saddle, the West Riding, and the Hunter Hack to win a Jeep, and we won it.
Yeah.
And we won it.
Wow.
Yeah, that Sun Circuit, we won a Jeep and a truck. I know. Let's bring that back. I agree.
Let's bring that.
Let's bring the yellow Jeep back.
Well,
Right?
and the Dooleys.
awesome.
So yeah, there was a lot. It was a big title.
It was a big title.
That was a huge title to win the all around.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. We won a lot of trailers, trucks, Jeeps.
Wow.
Again, I'll bring back Casey here. He said, like back in the day, the Super Horse and all around was the thing to win.
Oh, that's what you
when,
really were.
When
yeah.
you were there,
It was
you're
a
on
big
top of
deal.
the
It was a
mountain
big
back
deal.
then, right? When you won those, but you had to compete in so many events, and
Yes,
you got to
you
have
did.
the right horse.
You had
Like
to
the
have the
one
right
horse that
horse.
you're showing me was like a special horse, unicorn horse or whatever.
Yes.
That he can do. Like back in the day, you can't do Pleasure and Under Saddle
And the Hunter Hack.
and Hunter Hack, right? Right? You don't have a horse that does it like that, right?
No, it was, yeah.
You know, there's special horses that can flip the switch.
And
go
I was
both ways.
very, very fortunate to have, I mean, I picked good horses and I had good trainers that helped me pick them.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
and you did all that with, like Troy said, without a vet trailer.
Yeah.
You're jumping these things.
I think
or-
honestly we went to the vet once a year for teeth floating and worming.
Yeah, we were worried if we overbuted them or something.
We
right?
couldn't even butte. You were like, there was no drug sheet.
Which I do think we did have to have a little bit more of a horseman's approach back then on how
Yeah, I
to
would
preserve
agree.
our horses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
so I'm not sure where this is at, but you also, like, I don't know if it's as youth or as your amateur, you showed in some of the open classes too, right? Because
I did both. I
Right.
showed in some of the open
and
events.
then you did well in some of the open classes too against the trainers, right?
I did. I was very fortunate to win the senior Western riding as a youth kid, actually.
You know, like back in the day when I was a non-pro and amateur too, I had fun showing in open classes because there's nothing to lose, right?
Yeah,
and you
that's
want to be a
true.
few of those trainers and
Yeah.
make them work harder, right?
Yeah.
Especially if I had a good horse,
It
right?
was good times.
And then, so let's talk about your amateur career. Like,
Okay.
you had a couple years in amateur,
I did. I had two and a half years in amateur.
yeah.
I'd
And
say.
then who was helping you in those years?
Well, I bought an all-around horse from Gary and Kelly Roberts, and they knew the horse very well. And I'm definitely a goal person. I set goals.
It's Imperial Bid.
Yeah.
It's a famous horse. We need to recognize it.
He is pretty famous.
Yeah.
So Kelly went on the road with me, and we showed from Arizona to Florida, and we won a lot.
Right.
We won the nation. We won the all-around. We won the Huntsy Deck. We dominated the World Show. We dominated the Congress.
But you had
He
to
even
know,
did pleasure driving.
you had to know how to ride to compete. If you don't have any skill set, you can't show in all those classes. You got to have some skills.
But I had trainers that made sure I was prepared
Right.
and I practiced and I
Right.
knew what was going on, and
so
great
I
support
mean,
team.
Super, especially young amateur. Like that was your early amateur
Yeah.
years, right? And you're being
It was
so
exciting to
competitive.
go back to back from the youth to the amateur. Like I went right from the youth career right into my amateur career and we didn't go backwards. We were fortunate enough to move right ahead.
Yeah, there's only a few of them that do that, right?
Yeah. It's
So tell me
And
about.
back then, we honestly didn't show a horse for a long time. You had a horse for maybe 1 or 2 years, and then you went on to the next
we
horse.
very rarely showed horses that were 7 or 8 years
No,
old.
that was old.
Yeah, that
and
was
now
very
they're barely.
old.
That's like a prime now.
We couldn't keep them sound that long, right?
So back in the day, I don't know if it's youth or amateur. So like you're the first guy that was winning all.
I was the first male to win the all-around amateur at the World Show.
Yeah, right,
And
wow.
we won a
I guess
trailer.
you're right. You're right. You were.
little icebreaker there for those
Yeah.
guys and stuff like that. Let's just keep going then. Okay.
Okay.
So you showed amateur for a little bit, and then you went to school.
I did. I won the Congress my last year
Yeah.
because I went on and I did the NSBA, the
Yeah,
non-pro,
right, right.
the Western Pleasure stuff. Did a fantastic 2 or 3 years there. One of my proudest things is I was the #2 money earner behind
Right.
Jody Gallion.
Right.
And I was a non-pro.
What a nice lady to be behind.
Yeah,
Good job.
So
Cherokee.
Kent's out in California when I'm out there. So then I make the move. I come back to Texas and the scene and all that, and then you came back at the same time. We kind of, our careers were right there with each other.
Yes.
You were a different route than I was, of course. But then you were with Cleve, and you were in that era
Oh, yeah.
when we were changing things.
There was a lot of pleasure stuff going on. All the fraternities were huge. There was quite a bit of money back then. The Texas Classic was enormous. And we showed a lot of, I did very well in the three-year-old non-pro events.
Right.
I won the Congress back-to-back.
Wow, good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you've had, before you go to work and go to college and stuff, like you had said a lot of bucket list stuff going on back
I
then,
did.
right?
Yeah, I was very lucky.
Very fortunate for that, and you worked hard to get that. So I'm really curious about the college and your family business and stuff like that.
Well, I tell you, I won all that at the Congress. I was excited. And Cleve's like, okay, what's the next horse? And I was calling my family on a payphone. That's how old we are.
Right, remember those days.
Yeah, I picked up the payphone, and he's all excited. He goes, well, son, are you going to go to school? Or are you going to be a horse trainer? I'm like, well, I respect and love horse trainers, but I just want to show them.
Right.
I wanted to be Keith Whistle.
Right.
I wanted my
Right.
team to get
Right, we
ready,
talked
and I
about
wanted
that.
to go and then crack the pin. And so he goes, well, you need to come home, and you need to figure out about going to college. So I went home. Went to college and missed horse showing for about 2 months, and then I just really got focused into college because I like to focus on what I'm doing. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it all I've got.
Right.
And college was great for me. I got my
So
MBA.
is this a hard decision? Were you sad to leave?
I was sad, but I needed to make that change. Like back then we didn't have equestrian teams. I would have loved to have been on an equestrian team and go to college. I don't even know if they let males do that nowadays, but at least they have an
ISHA
option.
does. There's one association that does that, but the
they?
women's equestrian team, the A team, it's all women. 'Cause I asked that question today, so yeah.
I think it's fantastic that that's an opportunity, because then I would have done school and kept showing horses.
Right.
Okay.
But no, I had to make a choice. I either am going to be 110% in school. I think it's hard to bounce around and be competitive.
At that time, it was.
Can I just
Yes.
jump back for one question? Because there's
Yes.
a question on here. Did you catch that one comment from Diane? She says, question for KRT. We love to let you ask this question. Do you still have your awards from your youth and early amateur wins? If so, where do you keep them?
Well, I'm sad to say that I don't have all of them.
Yeah.
Because as I went forward, I never thought I'd be returning
Right,
to this.
right.
And I do have something like I have my World Show buckle.
right.
I have some things that were huge.
Right.
But back in the day, we used to win saddles, and we win a bronze all-around trophy at every horse show.
Yeah,
so we had a lot of stuff that you would win.
Did you donate them?
I did. I actually, thank you. I did. I donated a lot of it to the 4-H there
did that too.
in Arizona and California. And then the trucks and trailers, went to Cleve, of course, or whatever trainer at the time.
So
And-
someone has some historical.
Well, they're probably scrap metal in one of my yards now. No.
Okay, so
that's
let's
what
go. We'll
happened,
jump
all
back
that.
to college. So where'd you go to school at?
ASU, Arizona State University.
And your major?
Business management. I got my MBA.
Okay. So then when you graduated from there, you started working for your family,
I
right?
did. I went to work for my father.
And can you talk about your father's business a
Sure.
little bit?
He had some car dealerships, and then over a period of time, he figured out that it was much more profitable to open salvage yards. And then he became a very, very successful in the salvage yard industry. And I took over doing that and helped manage that up until the time he passed away. And then I started my own little side marketing company at the same time I was running the family salvage yard business.
So,
which all that hard work paid off because now I'm pretty much retired.
Right. So how'd that go about from working for your family and then making your own business?
Well, I think what was definitely beneficial, when you show horses, whether it's now or back then, you learn hard work, you learn dedication, you learn the more time I put into this, the better result I'm going to get. So going to work for my father, he expected the same type of work ethic. And I wasn't just handed, this is what you do, and you sit over there in a big office. I had to start like here and figure out all this way to make it work. And so I think that truly helped me take what I was given and explode from there.
For sure. So, I mean, you did your business, you made a business, you added on to it.
Correct.
So you have
absolutely.
opportunity later on, right, to
Yes,
sell it, and that's the
yes.
best, right?
Very true,
Then you
yes.
get to live life a little bit, right?
Oh, I live life.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all
I
good.
enjoy life.
So I'm really curious about this part, about the racing cars. Can you talk about your racing car?
Yeah. Well, I do have, I'm kind of an active person, so I don't just like to sit around. And my father, like I said, his interest was always cars. And he had a team of drag drag cars, drag races. And so I started to race dragsters after I got out of college, and they were funny cars, and we did that for 3 years until they passed away.
Did you have a number or something on your?
Oh yeah, 66.
66. Okay,
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's my lucky one.
So from a fellow adrenaline junkie, you love it?
I did love it.
Yeah.
I did love it. And everyone goes, "Oh, which was harder?" Showing horses is harder because it's you in a car. There's no animal telling you, "I don't want to do that.
Right.
I'm not ready to do that."
And then you were telling me too about your other hobbies. You like to water ski a lot.
Love to water ski. Love to snow ski.
Yeah, snow ski
Love
too,
to
right.
travel.
And then I asked you whether you like hot or cold now.
Yeah. I like the cold weather now. I enjoyed the heat back in the day.
Right,
but-
right. Let's can you give me some music and I'll rapid fire him real quick. So guess what?
Oh, no.
This is the time that I've been waiting for. I'm firing your questions. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm impressed.
He
Thank
did
you.
good. These are good questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Troy gets to do my spiel tonight. I love that. I love.
You want a mic?
You never let me ever ask the rapid fire questions. Why does Troy get to ask the rapid fire questions?
I
I let
Come
you
on,
do the
man.
answer sometimes.
Come
goes
on,
pay
man.
scale. It goes on
Okay.
pay scale.
I'm so proud
I
of
thought
my
all this was
questions,
free.
right?
I thought you guys worked for free.
You guys take it away.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
Name a piece of jewelry that is special to you.
My grandmother's ring that she left me.
Your grandmother's ring?
Yes.
What's special about it?
It was from her, and she could have given it to my mom's sister, and she
Okay,
chose
all
me.
right. What do you like to order when you eat at Charleston's here in OKC?
Oh my gosh, the salmon salad. That's great. Your salmon is really good.
Good tip.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Name one of your all-time favorite action-packed movies.
Underworld. I love Kate
Okay, I don't even know
Beckinsale.
what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you should. It's a series, Troy. You need to get into it. Okay.
Name. Okay, I know the answer to this one.
Oh, okay.
Name a singer you would go see perform in Las Vegas.
Cher, and I
Okay.
have about 55 times.
What is your favorite men's cologne?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's made by Louis Vuitton, and I can't pronounce it even though I did go to college. It's in a black bottle with a gold label.
Oh, gold label. Trying to let that
Yeah.
go.
Name an 80s band that you saw in concert when you were young.
Heart.
Heart was great. I just saw Heart not that long ago.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Awesome.
Where do you enjoy visiting, vacationing outside of the USA?
Paris.
Paris. Okay. All right.
It's a great
something.
city.
Name something you like to drink to unwind and relax.
Blue. Champagne.
Champagne. Okay. We got a couple more here. Oh, Timmy's got a bunch of them tonight.
Oh,
No, we got a whole list.
I think we're still rapiding it.
I was like, wow,
this is
that was
actually
fast.
this is actually one that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What with your camo and everything?
Yes.
What do you hunt when you go with that camo?
I think it's so you can hunt me.
What was your favorite class to show as a youth?
Oh, that's tough. I love the pleasure, but I also really love the Western riding.
Okay.
Good answer.
Okay.
Good
All right.
It is. That's hard because I had two great horses. They both won it every time.
Okay. Is there a
Hard not
special
to.
belt buckle you like to wear?
Oh, my all-around amateur award. That was tough.
Big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
It was a big one.
I'd wear it.
Especially being the first guy to beat all those girls. It was good. I still love that moment.
Do you have a phrase or word you like to say a lot?
Oh, please. Like, oh, please.
Oh, please. All right, that's it. Rapid fire.
Good job.
A rapid fire.
Okay, I did it, I think, I guess.
Kent, I think
Yes, I'm sweating.
Kent, you were like the best rapid fire
Yeah, he's
guy
quick.
ever. Like he figured it out. Everybody else wants to go into this really long story. He's like, no, I got
Oh,
the
no, I'd
answer
rather
right
talk
now.
less.
All right, everybody, this is the time that we stop. Thank our sponsors. So stay tuned. We will be back with a lot more from Kent Ray Taylor, Troy Compton, and Tim Kimura, and myself. Stay tuned.
Stay here.
Every once in a while, something comes along that could be a game changer. Enter Unishippers, a trusted shipping source for more than 30 years. If you need a reliable, fast shipping source, turn to a specialist that knows the unique shipping needs of the equine reproductive marketplace. As an authorized UPS reseller, Unishippers offers unbeatable shipping value. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
Caring for your horses is easy when there's a safe choice for you. If you need one feed for the safe choice. If your horses need gastric support, there's a safe choice for them too. Some horses need lower starch and sugar. You guessed it, there's a safe choice for them. There's also a safe choice for mares and foals, for seniors, and for easy keepers. All these horses can gain a lot with science-backed nutrition from Nutrena. Yours could too. For every horse, there's always a safe choice.
Welcome back. We got more
until someone else.
No, I'm not. Fun commercial break. Thank y'all for staying tuned while we thanked our sponsors. Tim, you got more questions or what, man?
I do. I have a little bit more storytelling. Okay. I want props to my friend Robert Barton and Carson Griggs. If you're raking that course for me, I'd sure appreciate that, right?
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
The exhibitors would appreciate it.
So, Kent Ray, let's go back. And I'm kind of curious, like, what inspired you to come back and get inspired to want to go to another horse show? Or just
really, that's a great question, Tim.
Okay, well, the truth of it is, we were at dinner at Steak 44, which is one of my favorite restaurants in Arizona, with my friends, and we've been friends for, 10 or 12 years, and we're sitting there, and unfortunately we like to drink expensive wine and champagne, and eat a lot of dumb food, and I'm sitting there going, we could be doing so much more than just wasting this money and not doing anything.
Right.
And so I just spouted off because I was a little buzzed. And I said, I used to show horses. I think I'm going to go back to showing horses. And three of them were like, you've never ridden a horse in your life. I'm like, yes, I have.
Game on. Wow.
And so I had to prove it. I had to go dig out old VHS tapes and show it to them. And so they all kind of laughed and thought it was just me being, over the top and I wasn't going to do it. And so I got on the computer and I'm flipping around going, I wonder if the same people still show.
Right.
Like, I wonder if it's the same. Like, are those people still out there? What's it like? And I clicked it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, they used to be an assistant trainer. They were a kid. Now they're trainers. I was like, I know quite a few of these people. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it. And I reached out to Susie Jean, a couple other people. I'm like, you probably don't remember who I am. And every one of them called me right back, hell, we remember who you are.
Right.
I said, well, I think I want to go check out a horse show.
That Susie Jean's our cake girl, man. We love
Heck yeah, we got Whiskey River
Cakes, baby. So
hey, I gotta stop you here because this may be a first-time watcher, Mr. Gordon Downey. He just commented, first-class man, an incredible friend. I cherish and admire.
I know that guy.
Gordon, thanks for watching. I know there's so many others of you that have commented, but Gordon, he's always there. He's always he's always trying to keep all the troops rallied, keep the horse shows fun and exciting.
Very positive.
Gordon,
what a
thank
positive
you.
Guy
yes,
all
thank
the
you
time,
for keeping it positive. Yes,
I love taking pictures for G-Man. He makes me look good.
Absolutely.
So. Okay, so let's continue here. Okay, so you called Susie Jean. She calls you back. Oh yeah.
And what's hysterical is when I knew Susie Jean, she was in Pilot Point,
right.
And when I was with Tom Chown,
right,
and I had an amazing time living out there. We were like friends. We hung out when she was a great lady. So she said, well, I'm in Arizona. I'm like, well, when did you move to Arizona? And so she was out in Arizona and she said, you need to come out with me and we'll go to the Sun Circuit. I'm like, Susie, it's like March. The Sun Circuit's in January. Oh no, things have changed. I'm like, I guess so. So she took me out and I was like, okay, we'll check this out. So we come walking out and I'm like, no one's going to know who I am, whatever. So Rusty Green's coming along in a golf cart and Susie says, hey, Rusty. And he stops and she goes, I want you to be a friend of mine. Because I know who that is. That's Kent Ray Taylor. You can't pull me. And it was cool. Like, it meant a lot to me that after 30 years, he'd recognize me. and treated me great. And then we went around the horse show, and there were a lot of great people, Bob and Debbie Kale. I mean, there was just a lot of friends that were, when I showed as a youth and amateur, that were either younger than me or, you know, trainers, assistant trainers, or kids. I mean, it's
So is
just
this
a
like
good experience.
216, 217?
4 years ago?
It was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Let's say 216, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then I smelled that sawdust, and I'm like, I'm buying a horse.
Oh, about the shame.
Oh, yeah. When he showed up, you came by the stalls,
I
and I'm
did.
like, of course,
It
it's
was
like
nice.
he was the same.
It was a lot of
Same-
fun.
It was the same KRT, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so now you come to your horse show, you see some people ready to jump in the water.
You're ready to jump in the water. So I talked to Susie, and I said, you know, I love the Western Pleasure, and I love all around. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she was like, well, we need to watch. So we watched every day and kept watching. I thought, I want to do the all around. And I thought, wait a minute, I haven't been on a horse. The last time I rode a horse was at the Congress, and I hadn't been on one since. Not even like to go trail ride or practice. So she said, well, you know, you could do it, And I said, well, I think I'll start with the pleasure. I think I can do the Western Pleasure. Because back in the day, I was pretty good at it. It was pretty easy for me. So we were looking around, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start on the Western Pleasure. So Rusty is as cool as Rusty Green is. He said, oh, just come over and ride. We got tons of them in the barn. So I went over, and they put me on all these famous horses. That
I went over and watched.
So I said, Rusty, I go, can we go way out back where no one's around? I haven't been on a horse since I was like 21, and I'm a lot older than that now. And he goes, just get on here, we'll go right here in the warm-up pen. And it was crowded, and I got on, and I was hooked. I'm like, Rusty, we need a horse. So Rusty
you didn't miss a beat. I had some people sitting there, and I watched you lope off, and I was like, this guy, he hadn't missed a beat.
Well, it was a good experience. So Rusty went out and found me a horse, and we bought 2 horses.
Okay, so you buy the first 2 horses. And so what's the very first class or show you went to?
Well, this was very exciting to me. The very first time I showed the 3-year-old, I bought a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Rusty helped me pick them out, and we went to the Tom Powers. Now, this is very sentimental to me because we showed the Tom Powers back when it was called the Triple Crown, and you do 3 different horse shows, and I was very, very fortunate to win it 2 years in a row at all 3 places, and so it meant a lot to me. I wanted to come back and prove that I
Ziprageous.
Zippopotamus. Yeah, and Fancy Career. And so I was like, Rusty, I really want to be ready for this. And so we worked really hard, and we got there, and I'm like, whoa, this is a lot. Because it was like the same feel. Like, honestly, the Tom Powers didn't change. Same little fairgrounds outside. And we were very fortunate to win our first time back.
So my big question is, what was that feeling? What was that feeling in the practice
petrified.
pen when it's time to go into the pen for the very first time?
I was petrified. I was wringing wet with sweat. Katie's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Just open the gate. Let me go.
And then once the first class or round was over, was it easier after that, or was it
No,
nice
it's hard.
Hard, right?
Yeah, it's a hard class.
It's never easy.
Yeah, it's never easy. But I had, it was a great experience, and I will remember it forever.
Right.
And then we went out and we did very well. We went on to NSPA World and got 2 reserve world champions there our first year back. And
wow. So that's a couple years you're doing fraternities, right?
Yes.
Just pleasure.
Right, just pleasure.
And then there's a moment where you're saying, maybe I want to do some of the more all-around events?
Well, my 3-year-old mare had now turned 4, and the 2-year-old was coming 3, and the 2-year-old still needed to do pleasure. But I wanted to start doing the Western all-around. Like, okay, I need to start doing changing leads.
Now you can add.
Yeah, now I can add. And I love the Western riding the way it goes now, and I love the trail. And so I was like, okay, I need to start adding these pieces to her.
So then do you change your program on how you're going to do that, and different horses or different trainers?
Yes, I did. Went back to the Sun Circuit and was just kind of trying to decide what I need to do. Because the one thing what I cherish most is going to trainers and learning their techniques and their styles, because they're all a little bit different, and the horses are a little bit different. And if you're not open to learning, you're not going to grow.
I mean, I've seen that from a lot of different trainers, too, that have talked on this program. You got to be open-minded.
Yes.
You got to be willing to learn.
Yeah.
You got to listen to some other people sometimes.
And
you
know
might
what's
not
nice
be
is you'll
perfect.
see trainers going to other trainers to work with them. And
I do it.
Yeah.
Sarah was
This
talking
guy
about
right
the other
here
night,
is
right?
taking me to the senior trail
Blake
finals
works with
2 years
you,
ago.
and so it's good.
I have my little piece, right, that, okay, if you have a problem with pole, let me tell you what I would tell someone. You don't need
You
everything.
have to have help. This
Yes.
business is so competitive anymore.
Yeah.
But we like
if
helping
you don't have
each
somebody
other.
helping you.
And it's very specialized. Like, it's very specialized. Like, back in the day, you could not have you didn't just have a hunt seat all-around horse or a Western all-around horse. You had to do them all, and the classes were huge.
So when you start going all around, is this where you
I
and
watched
Blake
out there, and I thought, you know what? I think Blake would be great for me. And he was so like open. And I came up to him and I said, you know, I have this mare. Like, I think she can change leads. You know, I like this. He's like, well, let me come ride her and let me hang out with her. So he like took her and he like worked with her. And I was ready actually to buy another all-around that was already ready.
So what attracted you to Blake?
Well, he had a couple horses out there, and I liked his style, and I liked the way he got them ready. And when they weren't right on, I liked the way he schooled them. Like, I just thought we'd fit. You know, he seemed very. I just thought we were going to be a good match.
I'll tell you the truth. Like Blake, he's matured a lot. Okay, when he was younger, he
I heard he was a wild child.
Well, he's probably okay. Here's the Blake story. He's probably the only kid when I gave his clink to him about 7 years old that ran me over. That mother like nailed me. Okay, like I haven't got hit on a clink very often. But Blake,
he's got enough grit to him to make him really good. Right?
You know, and I love helping Blake, you know, because that's our story that, I ran the trail man over, right, in the clinic. I go, I remember that, okay.
The reason I chose him is I said, you know what, I want to buy that horse. And he's like, well, wait, we don't even know what you got yet. Why are you ready to buy another one? I was like, okay, cool. So he took my mare home. And he was going to put some time in on her and let me know she could do it. Because I told him, I said, I want to be serious. I want to be competitive.
So, just from this point here, like, what, you know, kind of like what Troy was asking, like, what changes have you seen, like, from when you were a youth, back in the 80s, I guess?
Well, I'll get to that, but I want to also let you know that then I chose Angie and Charles, Candizero.
Right.
Because I had my 2-year-old mare was reserved at the Masters, which was...
Yeah, we're still Western Pleasure.
Yeah, hey, hold on, Tim,
Man,
hold on. We'll get to trail. But no, I was really proud of her, and so I was going to do I still want to do the Western Pleasure, like the Futurity, so I was going to do both. And I thought, you know what, Angie and Charles will be great for me. They're close to Blake. Like, it was just going to work out.
Right.
So I chose them. Angie picked me out of Pleasure Futurity horse, and we did very well. Again, following up with another 3-year-old, and so it was a great match.
You've had great people in your domain.
I have.
He's always chosen great teachers.
Yeah, he's had opportunity to do that. I mean,
that's just smart. It's smart.
You know,
I'm very pleased with who I've always ridden
You've gone
with.
to a lot of different universities. You've learned a lot of different things, right?
Yes, but I think that's important.
When did you say you're going to come to Trail University?
Next year.
Next
Wow,
year, okay.
It's tough. I've been there.
It is tough.
It's so hard.
Yeah, next year I'm hoping to add the Western riding and the trail.
So tell me your favorite all-around event then.
My favorite all-around event?
Pattern class. Your favorite pattern class. You can't use pleasure.
No, well, okay. I love the Western riding.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about doing the trail because I mean it's so much. It's just better now. The trail's better. It's more exciting. There's a little more
It's
difficult.
a challenge.
It's a challenge.
big
But I
challenge.
really fell in love with it. We were at a horse show in Georgia. I think it's called the Big A, and there was an event going on. It was like a trail
Show for dough.
Show for dough.
I know the guy that runs that.
Yeah. I think it's this guy, right?
Yeah.
Now my chest is
the other
going up.
guy.
You're talking my language now. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, you had this class they had a class going on, and there was music going on, and
Really?
there was stuff happening. I'm like, I'm gonna go over there.
Fun.
So we literally walked over there. I watched it. I'm like, I want to learn how to do this. This
How
is
about
cool.
that loud 80s music?
I loved it. I was hooked.
The loud 80s music.
So
Yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna bring that on, and hopefully.
No, show for dough.
No, he was saying, he was telling us
I was
how
answering a show for dough question from Ashley, by the way.
He
where
was
he came
bragging on
saw
Show for
he saw
Dough.
the trail class on the field, right?
Oh, are you coming to Big A?
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
dude.
I'm telling you, it would be the most fun that you had all year.
I'm sure
you
it
go
will
to
be.
every
I loved
great
it when
show,
we went. Yes.
but it is a blast, especially that night because it's a course that nobody gets to ride. Of
No,
course,
it got me hooked. I'm telling you, I
and
watched
the
it
80s
once.
music's blasting the
He had-
whole time.
He had 80s going the
Yeah.
year I was there. I watched it. I'm like, I want to do the trail. I went right back to the stalls. I
Oh,
said,
so
Blake,
you got to see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
What year
what got
was
my
that?
love for trail. 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And Whitney came out on this gray horse, and she was amazing.
Yep.
And I'm like, I went back to the stalls. I said, Blake, okay, I am into trail. Because he was always like, let's do trail, let's do trail. I'm like, I'll get there. Let's do the Western riding first. Let's add an event every
I didn't
year.
see you out there in the trail warm up. I just saw your trainer
I'm old.
out there
I
when I was out
got to
there.
learn
Why-
one new event each year. Give me 2 years, and I'll be ready for the trail.
No, awesome. Thanks, man, that you appreciated
No,
that, because
it's the
we
truth.
put a lot of thought and time into
No,
it. Honestly, to
fun
make
event.
it exhibitor friendly for one, but then making it
Spectator friendly.
Spectator friendly. Yeah, that's the
Absolutely.
word I was looking for. Thank you.
Just like I don't know if it's bull riding or any of those kind of events where it's music, it's the energy so powerful.
Yes.
We work on amping it up. We have the T-shirt gun out
I mean,
there.
people
It
are
was
falling
fun.
over other people when I shoot that cannon off with
Right.
a T-shirt in it to try to get a dang T-shirt.
You know, and the competitors like it because they don't get practice. They get
Yeah.
some poles on the
Yeah.
back. We get to walk around a little bit, and then we go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, we have a demo rider, which is kind of cool. You have a demo rider, so you can kind of, how many of us show the trail that go up there like, I'm going to watch a few, right? So you get to go up and watch one.
I watched them all.
And just kind of like, okay, what do I need to do with my horse, right? But I don't know.
But isn't that something that
it's a
catches
vision
someone like him, or to try to do some trail, right? Like,
Yep.
isn't this fun? This is cool
We're-
stuff.
I'm
oh,
just
it definitely,
telling you.
because that was the last class I wanted to learn. And it made it go
I don't
way up
blame
the
you.
chart.
I'm into it too deep now, but I don't blame you from where you're sitting right now. I don't blame you at all, because
Don't
there's a
forget who
lot
your
to
neighbor
learn.
is, right?
I know.
we're
I'll
gonna-
get there. I promise. I'm going to get a lesson.
In Waco last year was the first time we added another show for dough, and we did that same format, shooting T-shirts, loud music during a horsemanship.
Oh, really?
It was freaking
ready.
yes.
Bring
Your
it on.
girlfriend won it, right?
It's
Yeah.
You're
Tina
right.
won it.
Tina who,
But
yeah.
but it's I was like, are y'all
I got
okay
it.
with the music? They're like, yeah, bring it on. It's awesome. You know,
Congratulations, honey.
it just gets your energy pumping. But yeah, that's exactly the bull ride and all those kind of things. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from there, okay, so I'm going to jump a little bit.
Okay.
So when you're in the business world, okay,
Yes.
like some amateurs, they have to ride and work, but you worked, and then your lifestyle is business, and
Yeah.
then you decide to spend some time doing horses, okay?
Yes.
So I'm sure that the lifestyle, how you change from being in the business world or whatever to...
Well, the only way my lifestyle really changed was my downtime for my hobby was going to be the horses.
Right.
So I just changed that outlet. I still did the business. I still worked
So
enough.
do you have to plan your year out a little bit? Like, okay, I'm going to go to this show, this show, this show.
I like to do that, yeah.
Right.
Because it is a hobby for me,
Right.
and it's all about fun. And I like certain horse shows just fit my style.
Right.
You know, I love the Del Mar Horse Show. I love the Sun Circuit. I usually go where I want to go rather than maybe what's the cool show to go to.
Right.
You know,
That's a great approach.
It-
I do the
mean,
same
it's
thing.
happy.
I do
You
the
know,
same thing.
we have a good time.
So another question. I didn't say Tina who. I said I love Tina Vollmer. What are you talking about? Did I say Dotson or something like that instead of boxers? Okay.
She forgot what you look like already,
I
Tim.
forgot what you look
I think
like.
Tim just went off pattern.
I did. Well, my girlfriend's writing questions here, and
Well, why is your girlfriend talking to you when I'm here?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay. So my question is this. Okay.
Yes.
How about your friends? What do your friends think? Your friends back home in Arizona think when you started showing horses again and being a winner and doing well? And like, did you go back? Hey, remember that dinner we had?
Yeah, I did.
You want to see my trophy now?
Yeah, I did.
Right?
Like, who couldn't ride?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, right?
No, I did, and I invited him out to horse show, and I'm
Oh,
trying.
he invited all of them.
Yeah,
out
I did.
I said,
at
come
Sun
on, you want to
Country.
see the
Yeah,
real
I
deal?
threw a big party
Oh,
out
I
there.
was over there, and,
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
KRT said,
Yeah.
I'm having a get together, so I'm thinking golf carts and
Yeah.
Coors Light.
No,
Yeah.
no. There was a dang Corvette, a vintage Corvette in his alleyway.
I know, that was pretty cool.
I got a client that
pretty
has
cool.
a picture in the back of a Rolls Royce with Becky Gallion.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
I like cars.
I mean,
That's
come
good
on,
enough, dude. Like
man.
Arizona, right?
And we had a great live band.
It was awesome.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
But I
We-
brought them out, and they loved it. So I'm
We
trying
were
to
invited.
recruit them in. I'm trying to
What?
bring them
We were
over.
invited, right?
Yeah, we were there.
we were
They
there.
were there. I don't know where you were.
I was,
Probably
in the,
sitting
I was in the
straight
golf
pattern.
cart. I was
My
playing
wife-
my music in the golf cart in the back.
Monica, who adores Kent,
Oh,
and
I
she's
love
like, we gotta
Monica.
go. We gotta go.
Yeah.
We were
I'm
like
like,
3
okay,
bars
we're
down.
there.
So let's go this one then. How's
Okay.
this?
We closed it down. Just
You know,
saying.
Yep. So we did close that one.
We need more time.
We're going to circle the wagons here.
Just go as long as we
You know-
need. We're here.
You've done very well and stuff like that. Can
Thank
you talk
you.
about some advice and stuff like that for people just showing? I mean, your select peers, your other peers.
Well, I'm not just going to say it's advice, but I'll tell you what works for me.
What- yeah.
You need to find the trainer that you connect with,
Right.
and you need to make sure that you guys have the same goals. And then when they look for your horse, like I do have to give a shout out to Jason Martin and Beth Case,
Right, for sure.
because Jason knew that I had goals,
Right.
And we had a conversation, and he goes, "You want to do the hunt seat again?" I said, "I do. I'd like to win it as a youth, amateur, and as an old person. I want to do this." And so Jason said, "No problem," and he found me the perfect horse. And between that team, we won everything we went in. And it's because we communicated. He knew what I wanted. And it works. Like, you have to have that team, and then you have to put in the work.
You know, I think, Bradford's talked about this too, about the communication with your clients, communication
Yeah.
what your goals are, right?
Yeah,
Super
absolutely.
important. I mean, good and bad. You have to you have to suck it up and tell them the truth, and this is where your direction is. This is what I want, and work within your means, what you can do, right?
Well, and I don't know Kent really well, but I got to say that Monica and I were out there in Scottsdale for a different purpose before Arizona, and we were hanging around, and Monica and you had texted back and forth with it.
Correct.
Anyway, we ended up having a brunch or something like that.
Yeah, we did have brunch.
and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Had a lot of fun.
But it was very enjoyable. To get to know Kent is a cool experience. But then to see, because their stalls are right by the warm-up pin here, and obviously you can't, if you know Kent, you can't ride by and not look, right? I mean,
I hope not.
That's the goal.
That is the point.
But my point is, I don't ever see any drama. I mean, Kent, whoever's at his stalls, he's just talking like anybody else would talk to anybody else. You never see any quick minds. It's chill. It's cool, right? And so I think, and Blake's a great guy too,
Absolutely.
and does a great job, works his butt off, has a ton of talent, a ton of feel. But I really appreciate it. It's such a great example of. I would assume you guys have great communication. You expect him to do his job. He expects you to do his job, and it's just I don't.
I've got a question to ask on that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so most people, they send their horses to a trainer.
Yes.
You lease a facility.
Yeah.
You hire your own trainer.
Correct.
To train your horses.
Yes.
You feel this is financially advantageous to you to do that way?
That's a good
Well,
question.
I will tell you
Great
the answer
question.
to that question. And
Great
the
question.
reason it works for me, I'm not saying it will work for other people, but I'm saying you find your team, you find your niche. I do like things a certain way. I control what I'm doing. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to win, but I'm here to have fun. And there's a limit when you come back to the barn of how much pouting or stomping or thromping you get to do.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And because it's fun, this is why I came out of retirement. I didn't have anything to prove. I didn't leave beat.
Right.
I left on top. And I want to come back and have a good time. And when you're with trainers, and nowadays there's lots of clients in the barn, and everyone has kind of a different idea of what a horse show should be. I like an image. This is what I want. I want it to be organized. I want it clean. I want my stuff. I don't want to go up there and go, oh, I like to use a lot of baby oil, so I'm using everyone's baby oil. So, and even when I was with Rusty was very cool. I had my own tack room. I had my own personal groom, which I set up.
Right.
But he was like, sure, if that's what's going to make you happy, we'll do that
Yeah.
for you. And I just, as I evolved with more horses, I knew for me to be truly happy and having fun, I should just do my own thing.
It's not the normal route taken.
Absolutely, but there's nothing about me that's normal.
That's for sure.
I mean, it is what it is.
But that's the part that's unique,
Right.
honestly, because
Right.
you like things the way you like things.
I do.
But I don't ever see any drama. I mean,
I don't allow drama in the
That's
barn.
what's crazy.
Yeah.
Is everybody seems really comfortable there. They don't look like they're walking around on eggshells or anything
But it's a
like
positive attitude.
Yes.
You surround yourself
Yes.
with a positive entourage.
Yes.
And that any successful person is going to have a positive entourage around them.
Absolutely.
And if I'm going to fly out to Oklahoma City and spend 10 days, or however long we're here, I want to have fun.
Right.
And I don't want to have to be, worried about offending somebody else. If I want over here, we got to do it over there. And I know I'm unique, but at the end of the day, I'm here to have fun, and I want to be taken serious.
Right.
But I'm not going to stomp on anyone's
So I
fun.
have a question I missed at the beginning. How do you like to be addressed? Is it Kent Ray, KRT?
I mean, I'll answer anything, but I prefer Kent Ray.
Kent Ray.
Kent Ray.
Yeah. I got like MOT.
That's
right?
what I've
I'll
always
remember
called
that
it.
next time I
it's
see
what,
you.
It's what just.
How do
my mother's mad at me? It's Kenneth Ray.
when I see you, what do I say?
You say Kent Ray.
Do I do? That's
Yes,
what I
you do.
thought. I was like,
Yeah.
I think I
No,
called
it's
you.
just-
Okay,
you know,
I've got another question.
But I'm not going to correct somebody. It's not that big a deal.
I've got another question.
Okay.
You were what? You were around Cleves. You were there
At the beginning.
Right.
in this golden era, what
Yes.
I consider
Yeah, I
of
would
Western
agree.
pleasure. When we were
Yes.
developing, we were trying new things and all this.
We were coming out of the bridle. We were putting the nose forward, the head's a little bit lower.
Everybody had a little different style,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we were
Yes.
experimenting. It was a matter of style, right?
I'd agree.
You stepped away.
Yes.
You come back. What do you see?
Shane, good
That's
question.
a very good question. And I'm not a professional by any means.
I'm talking about pleasure horses.
I know you are. And I'm trying to figure out how to answer this so I make sense.
Right.
So I might need a little minute. Don't
That's
rapid
fine.
fire me on this one. I will tell you, this is what I will tell you. When I came back to the Arizona Sun Circuit and I looked at the horses like, man, they're beautiful. The horses look great. The trails evolved. The Western riding's evolved. I was like, the horse, all of it's evolved. But when I went to the pleasure, I was like, I got to figure out what this is. Like, not what it is, but I have to respect it. Like, okay, we've modified, we've changed, and we're super specialized. So I had to understand why we were doing that. You know, because we did go way more forward back in the day.
forward
We
motion.
really did. But the top line was the same. I would say the biggest difference for me and my biggest challenge was learning how to ride that arc or curve or arc. What do you call arc? What do they call it? I don't remember. But you know when you're loping and you always have shape. It's hard for me to learn how to ride that shape because we didn't shape the entire time.
Would you rather see the horses at Western riding speed?
Ooh, Troy. Yes,
You would.
I would. And I love the Western Pleasure, and I will continue to show the Western Pleasure. But I do like a little more forward pace. I do.
Okay.
I think it's just for me, it's what I kind of maybe used to
Okay.
and what I appreciate in a horse.
Okay.
You know, I think the Huntsy horses move forward and are beautiful. In the trail, they move forward in every single event we do other than the pleasure.
Okay.
You know, I think I love that. There's so much I love about a pleasure horse. I mean, I even like halter horses. Like if a horse is great at what it's doing, it's beautiful to see do it.
I agree.
And there are horses that can do the new pleasures, I guess is what I'm going to call it, spectacular. They're amazing.
I agree as well.
But I don't know how many can really do that and how many can go on to do another event because it's so specialized.
Yes.
You know, so in my case, I love it, so I'm going to get one that does the pleasure and one that does all around.
Exactly.
You know, and I kind of did it back in the day because even back then, as we started to make a change, it was harder for, say, Count McChick or Imperial Bid to win the Western Pleasure. We could place,
Right.
but if I got on Bobby's like Zach, you weren't going to beat me.
Right.
But that's all he did.
Right.
You know, and he went on to win a ton even after I sold him.
Yes.
I think that's what I'm most proud about. Back then, every horse I had did very well, but once we sold them, they continued to do very well with other amateurs or youths. I mean, it was truly a great animal and a great team, and they were sound, and they went on to do really well.
I think that's fun to watch too, right? As a previous owner,
Oh,
sometimes.
it's absolutely fun to watch. There's
Oh
nothing
no,
like-
I want my horses to go
do
win.
well. Yes.
I want my horses to go win for somebody else.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
my goal.
And
Right.
I think it's true.
I mean, like Tina's old horse went through 3 or 4 girls after that, and it was so neat to watch him show your horse and just because it's your
And
baby and
And not to like regress. The other thing I kind of miss is back then, like you had a lot of splits and you had the semifinals
Right.
and all the finals
We were the
at
only
night.
game in town back then. We
True.
were like,
you were trail. You were
Yeah,
trail.
trail.
You were
Yeah,
trail
we were
back
trail
in the
back
day,
then.
is what it was.
But you remember we had the
Exactly.
every finals was at night. Everyone came to watch who was
Yep.
going to win the truck or the trailer or the 2 saddles, and there was a little bit of
That's what I say. It was a
little
golden
energy
age.
going.
It was a golden age,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we lived through it.
Oh, yeah, I'm very
Yeah,
glad.
it
And I
gives
think
a-
we can get back there. I don't know. Maybe we just get more.
It's hard to get more spectators right now. I mean, I see
It's
like the 2-year-olds for
challenging.
sure get it a lot. You know, there's a lot of things we can do to improve the spectator participation.
But I do have to give a shout out to people like Kristen Gallion, for
Yep.
example. You know, people that are putting money where the event is.
Right.
I
You
think
know,
Kristen's
if-
doing an amazing job
Right.
with what she's doing. Yeah.
No, but anyone who's going to step up and say, okay, I want this event to be better. What can I do to help that event is only going to help.
Right.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, either way you look at it, money will bring more people to enter it. So you're going to get more numbers in there and you're going to get more spectators. If you put it at night and add some excitement to it.
Bring me income.
So, did you see this comment from Sarah? Look that up, Connor.
ahead, read it.
Can you read that, Kent?
You can't.
I'm gonna try.
It's right there
I
in the middle.
remember watching Kent Ray show in the amateur at the Congress, and he loped right off and went to the inside and won the Congress.
Yeah, we did that back then.
I was with Doug Lilly at the time, and he said, Kent is the only one that can pull that off.
Yeah, we did do that back then.
That's awesome.
I don't like
That was
to wait.
showmanship. That's showmanship.
I don't like to wait. Let's
Yeah,
lope.
no,
Let me
no,
see.
showmanship.
I got a loper. Watch me.
Yeah, game on. Game
Yeah.
on. Wow.
Game on.
Get to it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So,
show off your strengths.
I'd really like to do this one. You know, can you
Okay.
tell us about your partner and how long you've been together and stuff like that?
I'm very fortunate. I have a very supportive partner. We've been together 21 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And he didn't even know I showed horses. He was my buddy.
His name's Art.
His name is
Yeah,
Art.
Art's
Yeah.
awesome. Art's awesome.
He's a good guy. He puts up with all my craziness.
So, since Art didn't know you did horses when you made the move 4 years ago to get back into horses, how do you feel about that?
The first year is like, what is going on? And then you go to people and they like, did he really ride? And like, yeah, he really did.
Right.
Like he just couldn't believe that was me.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so, but he's been great. You know, he was there front and forward at the versatility when we did very well. And so he's very
Has he
supportive.
ever been around horses before?
Yeah, he leads them from the wrong side. He's like, what's this horse doing? I'm like, well, you're on the wrong side. What are you doing?
I love that. I love that. So, you know, I just want one more piece of this here where we were talking about the change that we've seen from before and after. Like,
Okay.
can you tell, we missed the part about the banding thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because I thought that was really interesting.
That's a very good point. So when I came back and I'm looking at all these horses banded, they're like 4,000 bands in a mane. I think we were one of the first people to band a mane, and we put like one every 4 feet.
Right,
It's like-
right.
I remember sitting there with Tommy. Goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, it's freaking mane standing up. I think we should like ponytail it."
Right.
So we were working on it, and we were scissoring it, and I mean, I'm sure people thought we were crazy back then.
My first horse I banded, Ted Turner used to come out to California when I was out there to
Absolutely.
Lily's, and he was banding, and that was 85.
But weren't they big?
Well, yeah, they were
Compared to
huge,
now, yeah,
like
they were
that
yeah,
big.
right.
Like
Thick, a little
20
thick.
bands
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
And like back then, we were like the beginning, starting matching your stuff. I remember telling Tom, "I can't show until I match." She's like, "What?"
You always mash.
Yeah, I
agree
did.
with that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's you, though, right?
Yeah.
It is
You're
me.
very organized. You're
I-
very
We had sweaters. Sweaters.
Yeah, you talked
Kent
about your
Ray had
sweaters,
such
I
good-
did.
Him and Whistle were the ones that really. I thought John Barry and I probably rocked a vest better than anybody.
Yeah, we-
but I thought that Kent Ray and Keith were really the best of the sweaters.
I was pretty
Yeah.
manic about making sure my Golden West saddle pad matched my sweaters.
Well, look at it now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just look at our blankets and our outfits, and
Yeah.
it's gone to the extreme of that too now, right? You were just the trailblazer
Yeah,
of that, right?
there was no rhinestones back then.
Right.
But I don't mind a good rhinestone. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
I
all
like
good.
it.
Wow. I'm kind of done here. So, what do you want? Is there anything else you want to talk about, Kent Ray? Like, I've gone through my 4 pages of notes here. So,
no,
what's your future? Like, maybe you talked about what's your next event?
Okay. Well, my next two events to definitely add to what we're doing is the Western Riding the Trail
How
for
come
me.
trail second, not first? You should say trail Western riding.
Okay, I'll do trail and then Western
Thank
Riding.
you, appreciate
That makes you feel better.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm definitely adding both of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Continuing, just go to the shows,
Yeah.
have a good time, try and represent.
So you have 2 horses right now. Do you
I currently have 2, yes.
Do you think about doing a 2-year-old or 3-year-old next year or something?
I'm not a big 2-year-old person.
yeah.
I never was even back 40
Okay, I
years
got
ago.
another question for you.
Okay.
There. Do you think we should be showing 2-year-olds?
Huh. Interesting.
Not me personally. I don't like 2-year-olds.
I don't
It's
either.
not me. I didn't
I
like
think
them.
we should move over to 3-year-olds.
Yeah, I think 3-year-olds should
That's
be
just
the
my gut
first. Mine
feeling.
too. I would do a 3 and 4-year-old for Turdy. Back then, I just chose the 3-year-olds.
Okay.
Personally, I think they're
Okay.
stronger. Like a perfect example, and Aaron Moses himself said, and I think she's fantastic and a unicorn. Snap It, Send It wasn't ready as a 2-year-old, but look at her career as a 3-year-old,
Right.
and look at her now as a 4-year-old.
Well, the rest of the industry's at 3-year-olds.
Yeah,
I think we-
that's true. That
But
is
you know,
true.
I think further back in the day, those 2-year-olds were as
well,
trained
bridle.
like they are now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I heard
No,
some of my
it wasn't
trainers.
so precise. It was
Yeah.
probably easier to get them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
You know,
absolutely
they're-
great.
They're expected to be finished show horses.
The
when they get
trainers
in, yeah.
have really amped it up.
And we bred more for a better
Right,
horse.
for
It's an
sure.
easier horse to ride.
For sure. Like I remember, I think it was Steve Heckman was talking about.
I remember
like,
Steve.
when he was showing some of his younger fraternity horses, they weren't as broke as we have now.
No, I would
Right.
agree. It's definitely more challenging.
And
now.
the horsemen we have now on the field can do the magic now. They
We were
got
guessing
their
back
programs.
in the days with our training methods. We were guessing a lot.
Well, we were kind
And now
of
it's
carving
more-
out a new style.
Well, it was fun. But
Oh, it was
But now
fun.
we have more of a playbook to follow, I believe.
Well, Mr.
Everybody's doing the Western riding. Like I've asked like 4 people, I gotta go to the Western riding, like on the way back, but I don't think we can wait for like an hour. Kent's gonna like break out in a cold sweat if we're
I'm already sweating.
You're fine.
I think he's done a great job tonight.
Holy smokes. It's
Wow,
been a
he was
great
smoking
show.
it the whole way through
Yeah.
here.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys for even asking me. It's
You
very
know,
flattering.
For my job, my part of the show, just to get the interview and get a pry into their life and their beginnings and their youth. I'm so excited that I got to meet Kent today like that and tell me your story.
I love it.
I'll lead you to the water here. Just
Yeah.
Not
tell
much
me
of
what I
a
need to ask
story.
you. You know.
I'm
You have to-
eternally
You have to do
grateful.
the trail with Trailman next year. It's brutal.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going
Soon
to
you
try
have
and
to come to my
tackle
college
it.
for
The nice
sure.
thing about that is the only class I could start back is a level 1. Can I say one quick thing? I do think that if you take 30 years off, you shouldn't have to come back and be level 3.
Come on, man.
That
Come
was
on,
challenging.
man.
Right.
We did it.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying, whoa, this is a step up.
You're doing a great
It's no
job.
step for a stepper.
Yeah.
You know, and we've had so many positive comments tonight and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
people really
appreciate all
respect
of
you, and you have a great. I mean, you have a great record. You have a great story.
Well, thank
I mean, I'm
you.
sure a lot of people will re-listen to this, Bradford.
Well, yeah, absolutely. They'll re-listen to it. But I want to say before everybody, because usually when they hear us like on closing comments, they're like, okay, it's time to go. You know, we have so many positive comments, so many people that watch. We've walked around the horse show. I just went over to Jill and Murray Griggs, who doesn't ever like to talk. He's like, you guys are doing a great thing. I'm like, I didn't even know you watched.
Right.
You know, so the thing is, we really want to keep doing this.
Right.
But as you all know, Tim has when he's at the horse shows, has a very big job. When I'm at the horse shows, I have a very big job. We're not trying to get rich on this deal.
Right.
There's a guy that's sitting that you can't see named Kona that we have to make sure that he eats and sleeps and
So
is
Ken
clothed.
and I aren't getting paid?
You're not.
Yeah, really. No,
Wait, did
I
they tell
don't-
us that
yeah. You didn't read the fine print, okay?
But I really, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm begging, but
we're not begging.
at
Let's keep it going, guys.
The keepingitrealshow.com. We are building something. That's the process. Tim and I haven't taken a dime out of this deal yet, and we don't care to, but we do. We want to keep it going.
I want to keep Coney
And,
going.
and that's all we're looking to do, right? Is because we appreciate people like Kent taking an hour and a half out of their day to come here and touch people that are all across the continent. Really, I know we're over 30 countries that watch our show. And so there's a lot of people that want to know about Kent Ray. There's a lot of people that want to know about Kendra Weiss, who's sitting stalled right next to me, and Kent's old trainer right across the street, Casey Hinton's right there too. But we want to be able to keep this, and we really enjoy it. But Tim and I both have full-time jobs. Horse trainer,
Honey-do list.
trail guy. So we want to be able to just keep this going. So if there's any possible way that any of you feel like Jerry Lewis, like at a telethon or something like
You're
that.
allowed to do it, Ty.
Okay, I'm
we had
done.
a great show.
Well, I
tonight,
will
so.
tell you, it was
Keeping it
nervous to
real
come,
show.com.
but you guys did a great job.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah,
you did
thank
an
you, Ken.
awesome job, dude.
Yeah, you knocked it out of the world.
It's definitely needed.
You really gave what I believe a lot of people were kind of. What about Ken? I feel intimidated to walk up to Kent and talk
Right.
to him
please.
and ask him these questions.
Kent's honest.
Yes.
So,
Not all day long.
That's
Absolutely.
one thing I think
Yeah.
that
You
don't have to be
he's a very honest
intimidated.
person.
But very humble. He's just so humble and
Humble, generous,
for sure generous.
giving, caring. I mean,
All day
Thank
long.
you, guys.
All day
thank you
long.
for what you've done since you've come back into the industry.
Oh,
I
it's
wish
been
I could
shot in
speak
the arm
about
of the
what
industry for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wish I could say what before, but I wasn't in the industry then. I think I was like 8. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Kent.
I'm sure you were, Brad.
I was not.
Thanks for the shout out.
Just kidding.
But it's
I had to
exciting,
throw
you
that
know,
in
like
there. It's really
it's so exciting to hear these people's story, and I was talking to Gil today too, and he watches the show a lot.
Yeah,
It's just so neat how what we've taken it and get to ask people real questions and just talk. You know,
Yes.
You know, Troy, thank you for being here because you're in our encyclopedia tonight.
Well, it's been awesome because, as you know, I judge, and I can't do this when I judge. So we need somebody to learn a repetition to be able to come in here and kind of learn how to fill
Well,
in.
the pay's
right?
great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We're taking interviews too, you know, so.
Could pay you in Corona, man.
Cold pizza and Corona, man. I'm in.
So, what's...
We're not sure what we're doing tomorrow yet because I'll be on the road at the time the
tomorrow's a
show's
mystery
going on.
show night.
But I can tell you that about an hour before, or an hour and a half before Kent came on, we had a very special lady named Olivia Tordoff, who is an amazing young woman.
Amazing.
And we did a pre-recorded show. So I'm not sure if we'll have it edited by then. We hope so. If not, we're looking to maybe do the best of rapid fire because we've done rapid fire questions for our almost 40 shows now that we've done. What?
Wow,
Can you believe we've done 40 shows?
I can't actually when I was thinking about it.
Holy hand grenade.
That's like,
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 40 shows.
Like a library of information, right?
Yeah, it's surreal to actually look back and look at all the guests that we've had. But we're going to be doing best of. We're going to be doing things because obviously there's times that we just honestly can't be on because we have to actually make a living. But we've been pretty straight up at least 4 days a week since March. So thank you everybody for joining in. I'm sure this show is going to be off the charts once we log off as to how many people we've had actually watch it. Kent, I can't say thanks enough, man.
I can't either.
I really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Appreciate
really
you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Kelga,
you.
with that, man, let's go
Thanks,
ahead
Troy.
and thank our sponsors one more time. And we'll see you all maybe Friday or maybe Monday. We're not sure yet, but keep looking at keepingitrealshow.com for sure, but then the Keeping It Real Show Facebook page as well. We will keep you updated as to what show's coming up. Thank y'all. Have a great evening. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Good job, Kent Ray.
Every once in a while, something comes along that could be a game changer. Enter Unishippers, a trusted shipping source for more than 30 years. If you need a reliable, fast shipping source, turn to a specialist that knows the unique shipping needs of the equine reproductive marketplace. As an authorized UPS reseller, Unishippers offers unbeatable shipping value. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
Caring for your horses is easy when there's a safe choice for you. If you need one feed for the whole barn, there's a safe choice. If your horses need gastric support, there's a safe choice for them too. Some horses need lower starch and sugar. You guessed it, there's a safe choice for them. There's also a safe choice for mares and foals, for seniors, and for easy keepers. All these horses can gain a lot with science-backed nutrition from Nutrena. Yours could too. For every horse, there's always a safe choice.
This has been a Kona Cam production. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.